And welcome in today's episode of Blockrevision, and in today's trade ideas section we'll get through very important stock that has been forgotten for a while, that has a huge upside potential. And why it has been forgotten? Because Draftkings hasn't really moved since beginning of October. And that's why it might be interesting to get back to this stock once again. In the beginning of this episode, I'd like to confess you that I have recorded this episode on 20th of October, so some of data that you see may not be updated. So if any of the crash or any of the important event has happened since the day I've recorded by today that I broadcast this episode, you have to take notice on that some of the things might not be valid, but I'd like to make a viewpoint on the stock regarding longer horizon. So I find that this episode should be very interesting in terms of some clues that you will get out of it. So what is a Draftkings? Draftkings is an American fantasy sports contest sports betting operator. Company allows users to enter daily and weekly fantasy sports related contests and win money based on individual player performances in different major American sports such as MLB, NHL, NFL, NBA, and so on. So it also takes a point on football and also NASCAR auto racing championships. So right now we can find that the company became the only vertically integrated pure play sports betting and online gaming company based in the United States. So regarding on what Draftkings is doing, it's kind of a very interesting stock in terms of its uniqueness. So Draftkings also is a company that has recently entered a crypto space, and with this huge interest in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency, it's a possibly very good move of Draftkings to take a step further and just have a grasp on what cryptocurrency is. And Draftkings recently, on October of 19th, has become a Polygon validator, so it will help maintaining one of the blockchain networks. So it's definitely something very brave of Draftkings, and we will expect maybe Draftkings to allow its users pay in bitcoins and other cryptocurrencies for Draftkings services. Right in this Bloomberg article, you will find, however, how really brave next steps of Draftkings may be. Right now we can find that Draftkings is taking an acquisition of Golden Nugget Online that happened on August of this year, that adds recognized casino brand and more players. In the past, it also has acquired SB Tech and Diamond Eagle that gave a boost to its amount of platforms users, and synergies of recent are calculated at 300 million, and possibly the acquisition will add 10% to the firm's revenue line. So we can find that the growing revenues of Draftkings are speeding up right now, but that's just one side of the condition of a company Now let's have a look at other data behind Draftkings. We can find that revenue and also gross profit has risen by the end of 2020. Right now it's slowing down a bit with this first 2 quarters of 2021, where those lockdowns has been taken off. So lots of more users were just switched their occupations from sitting indoors to outdoors occupations. So Draftkings slowdown may take a while right now, but definitely we are taking an uptrend, and the revenue line should also head to the north in the future. That's possible. Right now we can see that earnings per share in this stock is getting better with every single month, and possibly is getting to the upside. Right now we are in a negative territory, but it's one of the common problem of growth stocks, that those earnings per share need to get over this 0 point area, where we are just heading above to the positive one. Right now, as you can see, free cash flow is decreasing for the company, so it means that there might be some problems in terms of sustainability of a business, but if it grows very rapidly, the amount of free cash may be in a dropping tendency. But right now it's not very much worrisome, as we are holding this minus 120 level. So we will find out what the future will tell us. Let's have a look at shares outstanding. We can find that right now this curve is flattening, so it's good for investors, definitely in terms of the price of maintaining the price of a single stock. And right now let's have a look at some other financials. On Guru Focus we could find that financial strength, definitely cash to debt is suffering regarding history, but the company is developing rapidly, so we may let it off. For Draftkings, profitability rank still need to improve, but return on equity versus history is much better, but versus industry, this company, the only thing that promises to the market is that it will deliver better revenue in the future, but right now there's nothing really to get enjoyed about. So in terms of valuation rank, cash ratio, quick ratio, and current ratio are versus industry in a good position, but look at those, there are still some laggards, so we need this to improve as well. Let's have a look right now at some projections. Earnings per share for next year is getting much better than this one, and also sees quarter-over-quarter quarterly revenue growth at the very high level, so it will definitely boost the company to the upside, and in the eyes of investors, Draftkings stock may head even above $100. As we can see, the prognosis based on 17 Wall Street analysts giving us the finding where Draftkings might be traded even over $100 within next 12 months. And right now let's have a look at the Draftkings stock analysis. There is technicals where I would like to discuss over. Right now we can find that we are on RSI chart, breaking out a bit of this over 1.5 year RSI downtrend, so it means we might head higher from here, but especially we need the next months to break above those 50 points level on a weekly chart, and afterwards we may tell that Draftkings might head and accelerate in price. Right now, in terms of ATR, we are on a very low level, historically very low level, that has propelled us in the past to move, to take some important move. Let's have a look at what happened right there in the August, right after ATR has dropped to this low level. So the volatility of a company has dropped to this level. We have seen a strong demand for the company, so it may repeat this time as well. So Draftkings definitely, in terms of its position on the date of 20th of October, as the stock that is missing earnings projections, but there's lots of hype going around Draftkings that should move the stock to upside direction. Right now we are holding, since July of 2020, we are holding this trend line that might be a point where the stock will bounce off next. So we should see a rebound from this exactly line within upcoming days. If it will happen, and if the price will get lower to this around 47, 48 area, there might be a perfect time to buy. If you are quite impatient, you might have a chunk of a position right now. Now, with a trading board just set around this area, you might have a possible upside to the recent highs of 74 bucks, with a stop loss set at 46.5 bucks. But it would be better for you to wait if the Draftkings will get to closer to this trend line, in order to maximize our risk-reward ratio. For Draftkings, in order to reach this level, we may see a move right like this at first. So 58 bucks might be a first target, with a possible pullback or at least stop around here, and then with a right to upside. So right now it's a minimum target of Draftkings, with a possible area of entrance, if I would say, with a area of entrance to be right at those levels of 47 from downside, and 50.2 from upside, from the top. So yeah, that's it for Draftkings. I would say in the medium term that the stock should move higher from here. But when will it happen? The time will tell. Especially, we may expect a little drop right to this area, and if that trend line will hold, we may see a strong rebound from there. So remember about risk management. Oh yeah, something that I have forgotten. I would like to also maintain that right now we are on a very strong territory in terms of volume profile. So right now we are in a spot where this exactly bar from right is pointing us that we are in a decisive point in terms of future Draftkings direction. So we are defending the recent north direction, and with this rebound we may confirm that we are going at least to this target, afterwards to this, and maybe in the next months even up to there. And that's it for today's episode. Remember about subscribing the channel if you enjoy, and leave a like under the video. Thank you very much. See ya.